Hello, and welcome to Compiling CS Week 5. This week, we are going to be focusing on encoding. Encoding is the process of taking information and representing it in another way. We are going to explore a simple example of encoding today, one that uses a binary alphabet. A binary system is one that can only have two values of data. So if you look at our Scratch program here, we have this grid of squares and this little legend over here that tells us a black square equals 1 and a white square equals 0. So these squares represent our binary system. We can click on them and change them between black and white, and those are the only two possible ways they can be. So how can we use this binary system to represent more information, like maybe a picture? Using the Scratch program, we are going to represent binary data as pictures by clicking on the different levels and trying out random patterns. For the sake of our video, I'm only going to be doing random patterns, so I'm not giving away the answers to levels 1, 2, and 3. The way this program works is we select our level, and I'm going to select random, and our line info fills out over here. What we're supposed to do is to make each line of our squares match the line of ones and zeros we have over here. So for this first one, it says the first number in the first square is a 0, which is a white square, so that one's all set. The second square is a black square, so we are going to click on that. We have another 0, so that's still going to be a white square, and then it ends with a 1, so that's a black square. Now this whole row here is zeros, so we don't need to do anything to that. Our third line here, we need to make our last two squares black squares. And then for our last line, it's just our fourth square that needs to be a black square. Now this pattern doesn't really look like anything. That's because it was randomly generated. But we're going to use our Scratch program to see if we mapped our data correctly. By clicking the check mark, we'll see if we mapped our squares to the data how we were supposed to. If we get it right, we'll hear a cheer and it will say correct. We got it correct. Just so you all can see what happens when we do get it wrong, let's switch one of these squares on this row that we know is all white. And when I try to check it now, it says try again. We can try as many random levels as we like to practice our encoding skills, each time going through line by line and making sure our data matches our squares. So I think I've gotten this correct, and I'm going to go ahead and check it using the check mark. And I did get it correct. So go ahead and give each level of our Scratch program a try. Again, we select the levels by clicking on the numbers up here at the top. You'll notice they'll give us different line info, and we can fill in our grid accordingly and check our answers. Once you've completed all three levels, you can try an unlimited number of random levels that'll give you different patterns each time. And if you guys find any cool patterns, you can post the line info in the comments for other people to try to decode using this program. Thank you for watching.